I'm Johan Enslin. I'm here in the Valley for 30 years now, so it's quite a while. And I've experienced a lot of seasons, hardship times and prosperous times. Lately, we start to struggle keeping healthy relationships. In the past, the relationships were very healthy in the Valley. But the funny thing, it's mostly due to the prosperity in the Valley. You would expect it would be for everyone, but it's not like that. So the discrepancy, what do they call it? Discrepancy created conflict between haves and have-nots. So riots started all over. Last year, backhouses were burned down, and it created anxiety within the community, so that we had to do something about that. From the church's side, I'm involved in the local church here at Sunland. We invited even someone from Philip Jonker, the area.
Robertson, Western Cape?
Yeah, Robertson, in the Western Cape, somewhere.
Okay.
They had a similar problem there. And just to come and advise people what can we do. But the problem was we were only talking to us, to one group, So we were quite desperate. I think there was a lot of despair and unhappiness, and not sitting on the same side of a table, looking at the problem, it was basically accusing each other. So that is in short part of the history that we've experienced here.
Okay, and well, with regards to that, can you talk about what was happening in the Valley in the period of the past 3 years up to December 2018, and specifically what your fears were with regards to your family, your farm, and the economy in the Valley?
It became a very unsafe place. A lot of burglaries took place. It is a seasonal work as well, but people became desperate. And because of the prosperity they heard about of the Valley, they started moving here. So it became more and more populated. There were expansions for more orchards, due to water availability and so on. But socioeconomic problems immediately started to surface rapidly. So, we have a lack of infrastructure, and in all the communities here for years. And the expectations that things would have changed by now. With government programs, so I didn't realize it at all. That is what happened the last 8 years.
And it created a lot of fear and due to what was going on.
Definitely.
Okay. And can you talk about what has happened since then with reference to the work that was done by Professor Pretorius and the task team that he's put together?
I think Hannes de Waal from the SRCC, he was looking for help and solutions that will bring a sustainable solution for the future for us. And unfortunately, they took initiative to invite him and other speakers to come and address us, and just it was for us like testing the water. What can we do? We didn't know there were solutions or alternatives, but we were so glad that he could come on board. And because it is a process, and they had to put in a lot of work of visiting role players, individuals, so that they can be briefed and being explained what it is all about, to start with development and a developmental process. for the valley. So it grew from there, where there were a lot of difficulties with the conversations with Sanco and in all the liaisons that had took place. It was the best start, I think, that created hope. There were a lot of despair before that, but the hope of maybe together we will be better off. We will tackle the problems easier and get better solutions. So with that as a foundation, I think there was a lot of hope arising. And the task team, do you want me to talk a little bit about that as well? I'm not exactly sure about how many. I think there's 6 maybe or something. 6 that at first has been, or 4, drawn near and invited to become part of that. And they started to select role players that can play important role in their communities and make a contribution. And the task team had a wonderful approach of leveling the playing field. So every participant must go through the same kind of training. That created new opportunities for coming to build relationships, to come to know one another, and experiencing simultaneously a mind shift of how we look, of perspective, how we look at the problem and where we will look for solutions. So through various training opportunities that they already brought for us, we felt we grew closer to one another. Being on one WhatsApp group, we also are in contact with one another. So yeah, that really succeeded in getting a group together that can be of service and of influence. So yeah.
Well, that leads into the next question as well, on what do you think about the fact that community labour leaders have put their weight behind this initiative? Does it give you more confidence in the community labour leaders, and does it give you more confidence in the future of the valley?
Definitely. You can't bypass any leaders. It's all inclusive, it's still open. Anyone can participate, who can play a meaningful role, especially in terms of being collaborative in our efforts, good communication to the communities. That is so important, that everyone must feel on board, must feel they are part of what is happening here. So, especially from the labour side, we are very glad that they can.
Yeah, no, it's great. And what do you think about the idea of a development agency for the valley?
I did use the word, there were a lot of despair in the past. Now we create hope. We are so hopeful already, those who are involved. You can hear it in the language, you can see it on the faces, you experience it in the way we take care of one another in conversations. But for the future, the development agency is a necessity. The government has failed with their development programs and is not delivering at all. So taking responsibility for ourselves and our own communities, we have the best chance of turning the future around for us. So we are so hopeful and full of gratitude for an opportunity like that. And it helps a lot to hear that worldwide, globally, the development agency approach is really achieving great success. So we know it is the best alternative we have for our situation.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
And specifically, what do you think of the idea of bringing people from all sections of the valley together to share their perspectives and work together to solve problems and utilize more opportunities?
We share the valley. We share this land, we share the air, we share everything. But we don't share communities. We don't share good friendship and relationship and coming to know one another. Our children, they need a future that is inclusive for well-being of everyone. So definitely it is, it's what we want to do, it's what we need to do, it's what we have to focus on. So that's the only way.
Yeah. And do you have more hope, you know, you said this, but do you have more hope for the future of the Valley than a year ago?
Definitely. Everyone was looking to the other one. What will you do about that? Or who is going to come and help us? Now we know it is us. We must do it. Everyone. And everyone must be on board. And so the way all the participants so far on the task team responded just confirmed that there is hope, because we have the same view now for the future. We share the same dreams and goals. So it is really.
Yeah, with that being said, then hopefully, you know, everyone can come together and make it happen.
It will take time.
Yes.
It will take a lot of effort, patience. We must persevere, but we don't have any other option.
No.
That's the way to go. And as leaders, we need to be focused and motivational regarding that. So, we embrace that.
Yeah. And anything else?
Yeah, specifically on the role of faith-based organizations in this kind of process. What is your view on the role that is to be played by people like yourselves, ministers of religion, in the development and a transformational process?
Thank you for that question. For years we have been praying for wisdom, for better solutions, better approaches, better attitudes, for integrity, for better leadership, for servantship. And now it surfaces through what is happening now. So we take the well-being of our communities really to heart. It is so important. And we need to make a difference. If we are a blessing for others, we will be blessed. That's the way to live. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So from Faith Community side, we give God honor for providing opportunities like this. And we know we have been called to be here, to do what we do now. We are positioned to do that. So it's like a calling for us from the faith-based communities to be involved. And we are grateful that they gave us opportunity to become part of that. At the moment, I think it's almost 3 ministers that is involved, already. But communication-wise, it's so important also that to our assemblies or constituencies, churches, that we need to give the right feedback and keep people informed and ask them to be patient and to become involved. So we can play a big role in the communication regarding the whole process. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's great. And is there anything else you want to
Not really. If you want us to reflect on certain other things, maybe.
So,
have you got some ideas, Clayton?
I just want to say first of all that what you were talking about was fantastic. Feels like you have read the FORUS manifesto. You're talking to all the points that we, all the values that we share.
Yeah. We had a good, excellent tutor here in giving us what do you call it, a diagram, a sketch of the process, what it is all about, the different phases that we need to address and to achieve, to be able to move on to everything. We've experienced low quality of life, and we want high quality of life that is inclusive, that is really for everyone's well-being. But it's so important to be trained and skilled. So the leadership training, this is a very important phase, I think, is foundational for the process ahead. And they are grateful and privileged to be part of training regarding leadership, self-management, self-awareness. We did a lot of stuff like that, but especially about the mindset shift towards the developmental type of process for communities. So,
maybe I can say something about that. The early stages of this process. One of the things that we decided is important is to identify leaders. In many instances, they stepped forward, said, "Here I am," and then in other instances, people that was part of the task team said, they are other leaders that needs to become part of the leadership group. So we have a naturally growing team of leaders. So that's the first thing, identifying leaders. The next thing is, as Johan indicated, to shift minds from being adversarial, confrontational, pointing fingers, blaming, towards taking responsibility and saying we are all part of this development process. So the mindset change that Johan's talking about is from an adversarial to a developmental mindset. And we spent quite a bit of time on doing that. In many instances, I think those who participated weren't actually aware even that this is what's happening, because it is a new discourse, it's a new way of thinking that was being introduced. So that's the second thing. And then the next thing that we spent quite a bit of time on was to get specialists in leadership training to come into the valley, people that have been identified for their particular expertise, and spent in total, I think we're talking about it's 8 days of intensive training, from things like self-management to identifying your values as a leader, to decision making and collaboration, and different things that we regard as important skills for leaders. And so that's the third stage, and then the fourth is then to create the agency, a vehicle that becomes an entity that then carries this process forward. But I will at some point, I think we should do a bit of a video with me doing the graphic that he's referred to on the board, so that I can explain that process.
Very appropriate. We started with, if you look at a graph figure, where there is low life expectancy or value, and we are just surfing there. And then with some governmental projects that is more evolutionary, I think, in nature, there's a nice build up, but without sustainability. So great expectancies and attempts, and everyone is happy. They see something is going on, but it's not lasting. And the whole developmental type of process involves us taking responsibility, having a big desire that it will be inclusive for the benefit of all, but starting with low-hanging fruits and address that there can be something to get excited about, because everyone sees new things are happening and so on, and it's for the benefit of the whole community. And then it's a nice process of gradually growing in developmental phases, where you have constantly focusing on the context. What are the challenges or threats or whatever, and what type of action you need to take in that context, and reevaluate and go through different phases. What he will explain.
Yeah.
It's just nice to hear that, you know, everyone's kind of on the same wavelength in making a change happen, you know, creating that different, higher way of living.
The whole South Africa is so eager to have hope, to have substance to hope, and I think this process gives substance.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That was incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
We've got time for a mini tour.
Okay, good.